That's another Thursday, which means another episode of Commander's Log. We're talking about Species 10C. We got defensive breaches, and my captain, who's filled with 100% badass hydrocarbons, will join us live after the jump.
This episode of Commander's Log is brought to you by Geek Renaissance. Need that special gift for the nerd in your life? Love supporting small business? Look no further than Geek Renaissance. The artist Sephra makes all items by hand and will boldly go to the final frontier for your unique gift. Head over to geekrenaissance.company.site and use the code FLOBITO, that's FLOBITO, to get 10% off your order. Don't forget to follow, like, and share Geek Renaissance on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
USS Post Show, look alive. Captain, on the bridge. What's going on, Captain?
Oh, hey there, Flobo.
Welcome back to another episode of Commander's Log. Let's do it. Ooh,
I'm enjoying my delicious Fizz and Company Coca-Cola flavored seltzer.
Let's take a look at it. Sell it to me. Sell it to me. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, what's great about this is I get it at Ralph's, which is a supermarket out here on the West Coast. And it tastes a little bit like soda. Tiny little bit like soda. Yeah.
What's up, Mike? Thanks for coming to the show, Commander's Log. It's a Sock Monkey Mike. I follow this guy on social media. I think he got his Instagram back. Check him out at Sock Monkey Mike. We're going to have ourselves a grand on time talking about that Star Trek Discovery, the penultimate episode.
Oh, yeah.
Species 10C. Now, there's a lot to get into. And we were kind of arguing about this before he went live. In fact, it was a big cartoon dust cloud. Captain and I went,
with fists flying out of it.
The fists and the stars and little screw like symbols or whatever. Thoughts about the episode, man? Lay it on me, baby.
Well, I mean, penultimate, stress
badass. Hydrocarbons.
The nice thing about this season is it's built to last.
Okay.
One storyline for the whole season, pretty much. A very intriguing storyline. And now at this next to the last episode, we gotta kind of wrap some things up here. We gotta make that forward momentum to the climax of the story. And I'm sorry to say, and I'm gonna say it right now.
Oh,
I'm not enjoying this. Not now.
Wait, you did not enjoy season 4 or this episode?
I feel like
because of this episode.
Season 4. Well, here's the thing. We've kind of referred to this as we've gone on week to week. Is season 4 has these like slow episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like is, when you're driving downhill and the car in front of you keeps hitting the brakes and they don't have to.
Oh, yeah. Happens all the time here in the valley.
I mean, you don't have to jump on the brakes. And so I know it's hard to write.
My universal translator is broken. Captain. I'm losing you, Captain.
Okay, I'll just say this. I'll wind it up because you know how
Get to me straight, baby. Come on, let me know. Does it suck? Is it great? You can't stand it? It makes you mad? It clenches both your cheeks? What?
This next to the last episode has got me furious. I am furious with Star Trek Discovery right now.
Why are you furious? Talk to me, baby.
Do we want to get there already? Do we want to? Do we want to build to it? It's all up to you.
No, we have our show. Look, this is Commander's Log as part of a new AMC Entertainment Network. But this is a show. Starbase 80 Supplemental is going live right after this. So we don't have time to lollygag and dilly-dally. You give it to me straight, no chaser. What's up, Leo? How's it going?
Did you see the movie starring Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner and Forrest Whitaker, who is also excellent in that movie? And it's called Arrival.
The airplane movie?
No, nope, it's the aliens come to Earth. And they have to go find experts who can talk to the aliens.
Okay.
And there are people on Earth who don't want this to happen. So they sabotage it. It's the same freaking story as this episode. The movie Arrival. When did that come out?
So what's wrong with that?
2016. 2016, that movie came out, and it was a good movie.
For context, for those who don't remember
story.
2016, that was the anti-pandemic where there was Pokemon Go and everyone had to go outside all the time instead of being locked in everywhere. I hadn't seen the movie, John, but come on. Is that the reason why you hate this episode?
All right. Did you see the movie Contact with Matthew McConaughey and Jodie Foster?
All right.
Pretty close.
Okay.
Pretty close. There are people who don't want the contact to be made between the English-speaking Earth folks and these weird-speaking aliens. And oh my God, I can't believe Discovery has done this.
Okay. So let's be real here, and I'm not defending Discovery, I kind of am because you're totally ruining our core fan base. But how many ways can you encounter a new life form and it not be derivative? I feel like there's only two ways to do it: something like this, or just shoot it.
Welcome to Earth, says Will Smith.
Leo said, Arrival is based on the Nebula Award-winning science fiction novella Story of Your Life by Ted Chiang, written in 1998. Sweet.
Okay, so am I supposed to get mad about that too? They're ripping off the book by Ted Chiang. Okay, I hear what you're asking, Flobo. I hear what you're asking, and it's a worthwhile question. What is the story of us having contact with aliens that are very alien, extremely alien? Yes, I give you that. And where does it fall? I don't know, but this is so similar. This is so similar. The aliens are using something that has a visual component because they've got all the lights and a lot of the Craig Robinson, how are you, sir? A lot of the plot, a lot of the hour is bent towards how do we do this? How do we figure this out? And they, I like what they do with that. I like the delegates. I like when the crew comes in and they're brainstorming together. There's a lot of really nice Star Trek Discovery stuff here, but it doesn't ever make me feel that we have elevated and made exclusive to Discovery this story of these giant aliens and our bridge to communicating with them. And you know me, I like I love Darmok. I love Star Trek. Let's talk about communication. Let's talk about how we make a lot of assumptions, but we really shouldn't, as Dr. Kovich says 2-3 episodes ago. Everything you think's going to happen, you're wrong. Except if you were sitting there going, I bet it'll be just like Arrival. Which is weird that I mimed that because I actually have one here.
Gotta say the props. Look, if you try to compare to TNG, you're going to be disappointed. Again, I can say this now because I've watched enough of it. Yes, thanks to Starbase 80 on Weber Internet Thingy. Cling. Because it's not a TNG episode, because TNG has a refined story. This, to its credit or discredit, is straight up TOS, my friend. This whole, what are they doing? How to communicate? Them talking about it out loud, trying to tell what we're thinking instead of actually showing stuff, having them beam to a separate room, but it's a room that's familiar to them because they don't want to pay any money for a set. Straight TOS. And if anyone says otherwise, then you can't get mad at it because they did it before. Why not? The Mustangs get sold because they're like old Mustangs. It's not that bad. I thought it was fine.
I mean, look, I hear what you're saying. I'm happy for you that you're not sitting here with memories of Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner in your head. And really, Arrival's a beautiful movie. You should see it. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart to be disappointed at this point. We were almost there. We almost got to the end of it. And every great thing, I feel like every great fictional thing, especially TV shows in the last 20 years, they can have these incredible buildups. And then once you get to the end, you're going to be at least a little disappointed.
Dexter.
And this is what happened to me. Yeah, for me, it's Lost. But I can go on forever. Game of Thrones. I can go on forever with enjoy it. When you get to the ending, don't invest so much.
Well, they're going to have at least a season 5 of Discovery. That's already been confirmed. So it isn't the end to end.
Oh, no. The series will not end, but the storyline will put us in a different place. Season 5 is going to be very different, I'm sure. I'm not sure we're going to be in this galaxy. I think this might be our one visit to this galaxy for now.
Before I get to my next line of questioning, and I know it's kind of a biased question because we literally have content empires based on Star Trek. But if you're watching this casually, are you saying this storyline is frustrating enough to not warrant watching season 5 if you were that? Or you're saying you're still on board, but this is kind of a misstep?
Oh, I'll go with the second one there. To me, this is a disappointment at the end of a storyline.
Yeah.
And I can certainly survive that. And I can certainly say in this episode, I loved the cast. I loved the characters. This whole thing with Tarka, it gets weird. It gets hinky at this point.
Well, let's get into it, man. Let's get right to it. The whole Tarka book thing is the one part I don't like. Because even though up until this point for me in the season, I kind of understood the play of Booker or Cleveland Booker the fifth now, whatever.
Interesting.
And having his...
Can I just jump in?
Jump
Dread
in.
Pirate Roberts.
That's it.
Just like for Princess Bride, there's always a Booker.
Yeah.
Cleveland Booker, just like
James
Dread
Bond.
Pirate Roberts.
Absolutely. It's a brand name, baby. It's a lineage. It's like a Paris Hilton.
Hey, when it works, it works.
That's the one, because I kind of got it at first, where the planet blowing up and the whole Coast City thing of the Green Lantern comic and trying to replicate thing. And I get Tarka's storyline. I still think it was kind of weird because it was supposed to be romantic for his romantic friend, but the kid's kind of young. I get all that. But the last 2 episodes are kind of the point of like literally, cutting off your face to spite the rest of your nose. And I don't understand why. That to me was the weakest part. I understand it gave something like General Nadoye something to do, but this side caper being in the attic or outside of Discovery was kind of weird to me. And that's the one part I would say, John, that made me mad.
Yeah, that's pretty anger making too. And I do understand it.
Anger making.
Sometimes I just speak English versions of German.
Yeah, exactly.
Because in German it would be the anger maker.
The anger maker.
But yeah, I know. English is my only language. I'm not great at it.
Same here.
The thing that the thing that's so upsetting about this is so Tarka is on Book's ship. And they have, attached themselves to Discovery, and they hitched a ride into this new galaxy, and then they kidnapped Jet Reno.
She did it herself. She kind of went on the bridge and was like, "Hey guys, I didn't have a backup plan. Whoops, no phasers." And so she didn't get kidnapped. She was imprisoned.
Okay.
What was you planning on doing? Hello there, gentlemen. I don't know what you're doing.
So you got Jet Reno on the ship. Jet Reno's watching Tarka, and then she gets Book, to come over, and she's like, his calculations are nuts. He's nuts. He's gonna kill everybody.
Yeah.
And Book's like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. So that whole partnership, if he had just checked out Tarka's numbers, checked out his computations to begin with, he would have known the whole thing was going to blow up and destroy all known space. She
said the math wouldn't make sense, but his face will. I mean, trust instinct. She appealed to his logic instinctually. That was kind of fun.
And it worked. I mean, look, let's give credit where credit's due. Jet Reno.
You don't want to, apparently.
No. Oh, I am offended, sir. I am offended. Because I'm the one who said, let's give credit where credit's due. She's a great character. Jet is just a great character.
Mm-hmm.
Very Star Trek, very, very new Star Trek as well. Just love her. This is a really good, strong few episodes for her. And I hope they keep it up. I hope they keep her, in the mix. She's very insightful. She's very instinctual. But my problem here is, it turns out Tarka's crazy. He's willing to sacrifice everyone. Like, you couldn't have made that call earlier? That's such an easy call to make.
Wow. Sounds like you do some kind of that intergalactic judgment. Craig Robinson. Look at you from your high horse on planet Terra. No, Craig Robinson says, I feel like the interesting communication stuff was spoiled by the series as a whole being stretched out too thin, took too long. So, two questions I had for you in relation to this. We had part 11, which introduced the hydrocarbons. I felt that could have been combined a little bit this year. But I think perhaps more egregiously was that 6-week break after the holidays. John, to me, that kind of is when momentum hit to a complete standstill. But imagine if it didn't exist. Will this be any different? Would you feel any different about the series had it been straight through?
No, I can tell you absolutely not, because I, for the last few weeks, have looked forward to seeing this show, watching the new episode, after I, missed the one, All In, after I missed All In.
No, you're there. You're there. Go back and check that episode out. One of our best episodes, most downloaded episodes we ever had on the show, the All In recap with John and I. It's true.
Where I showed up and I hadn't watched the show.
And he didn't have lunch. I felt bad. And he's like, oh my God, he didn't eat his lunch. And I had him working.
But I've been more and more excited to see every episode. Mm-hmm. And my general feeling about Discovery has been, ever since you invited me to start doing Commander's Log with you, has been, look, I hope it's good, but I'll take it for what it is. I'll take it for what it gives me. And I won't get my hopes up higher than my expectations of the show. That was my general philosophy. And these last few episodes have gotten me more and more excited, which makes me more disappointed now that we got to this. I got to say, Craig, I agree with you. The plot was very stretched out. It gives us a lot of moments, and I like that. But gee whiz, we get to, this is exactly what happens in Arrival. This is exactly what happens in Contact. There's a connection being made between these two very disparate species, humans, Federation, and this intergalactic stranger alien. And then there are humans who basically blow everything up and make everything really, really bad.
We are the threat. We are the DMA.
It just makes me so disappointed where they go, they might as well have just ended it in a dream at this point. I don't know what the last episode could be.
Don't you dare. You don't extract gray to have things happen in a dream. Let's go through some of these comments here because things are pouring in. Joshua Postel, friends of the show, writes, you kind of knew Tarkin was not playing with the full deck from the beginning. Just watch him with his intense craziness getting worse and worse. You can tell he was going to get everyone killed. Tarkin, yeah. I guess he's a villain, I suppose. What
about that scene where he says to Book, I've only ever had 2 friends in my whole life, and you're one of them. Well, you're just about to kill everybody, so it doesn't matter.
That to me was the worst line. And I usually do the best quote, actually the worst quote, because it's like, you banged your other friend. That's just weird, bro. Like, why would you say that? Sorry. Stress-Free K says, I think maybe it's too nerdy for us because Linko's mathematical language building and Kardashev type 2 civilizations are real theory used by SETI, but I have to Google to see how it works. I actually disagree. Well, the thing I actually enjoyed about this is because one thing that was missing from season 3 of the last season, the first future season, was things seemed so emotional. Not in a bad way. I'm not complaining that Bronco Burnham was showing emotion. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But basically, this giant scientific event came down to a primal scream from an individual creature. Okay. That, to me, was too much of a jump for me. Didn't like the fact that Gray was inside Adira's head. This right here, as inaccessible at parts it was, and it made me pause and look up mathematical language, it was better for me because 1, I'd have to pause and look up Memory Alpha for other Star Trek shows, and 2, I didn't have to judge what would be if I was in the future and I was a kid whose mom had died and had to deal with life. This was definitely, hey, look, here's a formula. This is what we're planning to do. But that's just me, my opinion. Thoughts?
That makes a lot of sense. I appreciate that.
My dad does that. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you why.
Well, I can't agree with you because, the primal scream from the baby Saru It was really weird in 3. But I guess for me, it was like, if you give me, I can't even remember how many episodes that season was. If you give me 11 episodes and I like 10 of them, and then the last one I don't like so much, I kind of hang.
Right.
But if you show me something I've actually seen before, that makes me extra mad. If you steal a storyline, here's the thing. I used to teach comedy classes and comedy writing, and back in New York, and for Chicago Cine Limits, which was a comedy group I was in.
Just humble brag.
And people would bring in similar comedy to other comedies. They would bring in something that I'd already seen on Mad TV, or I'd already and
isn't it funny? We drive on a parkway and park in a driveway. Am I right? Bada bing. Okay, gotcha.
I mean, when you're seeing like, what is love? Don't hurt me. When you're seeing people doing actual characters that are already on TV, I basically had to sit everybody down, and I had to make a rule. And the rule was this: you're trying to work in comedy. If you're going to adapt something, if you're going to take something, take it from another genre, not comedy. Comedy's already been done with that thing. So yeah, if you want to drive on a parkway, park on a driveway, if you want to do that, then I'd go, look, find a joke that hasn't been done before and make that a joke.
Yeah. Don't steal from the bank, steal from a Walmart. I get it.
But it's in this case, it's like, what are you doing? Science fiction. And where are you getting your ideas? Other science fiction? No, don't do that.
Yeah.
That's what makes me mad.
I mean, I guess, and I don't want to, because I haven't seen Arrival, unfortunately. I almost feel like they put themselves in a corner, right? You have this thing that, based on evidence, if you're playing fair, because you can always do like a surprise, we're all inside of a snow globe, but you're playing fair with the audience. They kind of put themselves in a corner. It had to be this super intelligent thing that's so big and so massive, they have no comprehension of what they're doing. Because if they were an evil Emerald Chain type character, they would have been established a lot earlier. So I kind of understood that. But again, hadn't seen Arrival. Maybe that's why I'm kind of like, it's all right, bro.
Well, yeah, but you've seen Contact, and it's also very similar. I mean, Contact would focus on different things than what are being focused on here, but ultimately a lot of the pieces are the same. And look, I get it. It's a big story. How are we going to communicate with an alien species that doesn't have any reference points that we have? And we need to work really hard to find the common ground. That's a good story. But as soon as you go with, and it almost happens, and then humans intercede and they ruin it because so many people are short-sighted and afraid of what's new. I don't know, man.
I put the ticking time bomb into things. We're still within 4 hours by episode's end before it takes on terra firma and Navarre. And of course, President Tarina is probably feeling a little bit of the pressure, being a little snappy with our boy Saru. My man Saru's hit on Michael like, yo, what is up with these Navarre women? You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, and Michael had a little deal. So it's kind of tough for everyone, man. Thoughts about that? Are you still on board with Tarina and Saru?
I can't believe how much I am.
Old me.
Me in the past looking at me in the present is just like
hater.
Yeah, really, you're a loser. Because honestly, I think I love the actors. That can very frequently make things better for me. If you're going to do something bad, put really good actors in it. And I have to say, all the actors, and once again, all the acting in this episode, I really loved. Dr. Harai was so great in this episode. I told you, I thought for sure he was going to get killed.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm amazed.
There's still time.
Still time. And he's come through for us, and that's just great. I understand the anti-becoming friends with alien side of the story too, because that is different from Contact and from Arrival, because there is a potential. And I was really, really happy when their message came back, which was greater than sadness.
Yeah. Terror. Yeah.
And I take that to mean, I guess, what everybody else did too, which is, oh my gosh, we're so sad that our, DMA made you guys afraid and hurt. And then kaboom, Tarka's evil plot starts happening, and now they're all mad. Now everybody's mad at everybody because Tarka's acting like Tarka, just so he can get to his very young cellmate. Ugh.
That is so weird, man. Of
I
all the
do
ways,
not
and I
like it.
understand trying to be an open mind, but I understand you have to watch it as a human being. Going, this is a very young presenting. Okay, Fresh Free K says, I think this is different from the arrival because the lights are symbols like hieroglyphics, but 10C, the light represented hydrogen gas, where each gas was an emotion, hydrocarbons, which I'm inclined to agree.
That's like saying an ice cream shop is different from a gelato shop.
It totally is, bro. Are you
I
kidding
mean,
me? You go on
I
ice
mean,
cream on your
yeah,
first
they're not
date.
the same.
You go on a
but
gelato
they're
on your
not
anniversary.
that different. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, Kay. I don't mean to be mean, but yeah, I can't cut them that slack.
You just compared ice cream to gelato? Are you kidding me? That's the most offensive thing you've ever said. And we watched 2 Vic's episode together, bro. That is the most offensive thing you've ever done. Gelato is fancy anniversary ice cream. You do look more fancy with your wife. Everyone knows that, bro.
They're not that different. They're different, but they're not that different.
They're different consistencies. Are you kidding me?
They're all custards, mate. They're all custards.
Oh, you come off of your knob. You're daft. The ice cream is telling them, yes, right, so that's free, K. You let them know.
Totally different. That's an interesting use of the word totally. Totally different. Not that different.
Oh, man. Anyway.
I know. It's a bloodbath on this show. I'm so sorry.
No, it's kind of funny. Because there were some things that were kind of wonky to me, but now I feel a lot better sharing them because you hate this episode. Like the fact the portal looked like the Chicago Bean was kind of fun, and they walk through it and it looks like the bridge. I was like, that was a letdown. Like, what? I wanted to see something about them. Did it bother you that there wasn't in this episode an emissary? Now, you don't need to have one, but after coming off the Voyager episode we just saw on Starbase 80 with 7 of 9 being an emissary, was that kind of a swerve for you?
It really was. And I guess I appreciate the difference there. That sort of would be classic Star Trek right there, to send some kind of, emissary, some kind of ambassador. And so I liked I liked denying us that was clever, to make the communication much more direct and much more, this flat glass wall between everybody, also taken from Arrival. That sense of, visuals and in this case, emotions, which is very interesting. I do like what they've tried to do with it.
Fine. I've got this one by Sophie K. It is different. Give him a chance, man. Just for reference here, episode 12, 10 Speeches, 10 Sees, the episode directed by Olatunde Onasasame, who's done a lot of episodes of Star Trek.
Beautiful work in this episode.
Went to my film school, did The Fourth Kind. Kind of like he's locked in. He was discovered by Joe Carnahan, the director, who did the A-Team reboot.
Oh, wow.
15 years ago. And Smoking Aces is the one I know most like for.
Oh, beautiful movies.
So really, because the one person I want to talk to about, she's kind of growing in her role as president. When the Bean shows up, she nominates to go first. Everyone was like, "Go ahead." But she selects Saru and Michael, and we talked about it a little bit. But Harai, I think there was some version of the chat saying he looked sad being not chosen. I thought he was a little bit afraid or relieved he wasn't going inside this thing. Really, has been a character we've kind of went flip-flop for. She sounded like she was going to be a bureaucrat for a while, kind of stuck up, but she has a partner. As we get towards the end of the season, where do you see her? Will she be redeemable? Are you on board for her to be redeemed? Is she going to be just that villain that has that last swerve? Like, oh, I can't believe I trusted you for a couple episodes.
The thing that Discovery's always been great about. Actually, I always think about it whenever I look at your logo, Commander's Log, because this is such a different show in that it was about Burnham as a commander, this show, most of it. And even when she becomes captain, there are still people over her, breathing down her neck, judging everything she does, judging her approach.
Middle manager's log.
And so Rillick is really important in that sense, just as the Admiral was in the previous season. They're not just handing a blank check to Burnham every day. They're basically saying, you have to earn my trust over and over again. You have to prove yourself. You have to prove you're right over and over again. And that's a good kind of pressure. We can all understand that, especially people who are in the working world for a long time and not working for themselves. When you are working for yourself, as we do now, you realize how much freedom you have and how great it is not to have to constantly explain yourself and justify yourself. But that is a great pressure. So I think that's why Rillick was put in the story, because Burnham has to keep proving herself over and over again. And I think us viewers understand that.
But so as a character, are you on board? Are you pro Rillick or anti Rillick?
I would.
You a villain?
I would say I was hugely pro Rillick if she doesn't survive this.
Wow. So you only if she's a martyr, it counts.
Because she I gotta say, I know you were asking me jokingly, but I mean, here's the thing. If it's not her next season, it'll be someone else questioning every decision Burnham makes, constantly challenging Burnham and not in a good way, in an unnecessary impediment way. But I do believe that Rillick is a good person, that she cares. She's trying to do her job the best way she can. So I appreciate that too. She's a hard ass and she's not very understanding, but that explains almost every boss, really.
Scorched earth, showing up, only one in martyrs, crapping on gelato. Craig Robinson says, did you know there's also another John Webber in the opening credits?
Oh, yeah. That's funny. Yes. Ever since the series started, that John Webber has worked on the show. There are a bunch of John Webbers in Hollywood. And as I like to say, if you go to IMDb, I'm number one.
Are you?
I am. And not because I'm the best. It's because I'm the oldest.
Congratulations. I don't know how to say that.
But he's also a 1B John Webber, and I'm a 2B Webber. So,
man, he's a fake Webber. Am I right? It's like people spell Brittany Britney.
Well, the fact is, when you get down to the names, 2B Webber is more Western European. It's more common in Scotland. It's more common in Belgium. It's more common in France, England. And the 1B Webbers are more common in Germany, and all the German states. So.
Where they pronounce W's as V's and V's as W. Topsy-turvy.
Weber. Weber. Those are the Webers.
Crazy.
And the 2B Weber is actually a derivation of the name Weaver. So I always like to say I'm an autocorrective Weaver.
That is definitely a dad joke. My friend got me a pun of the day calendar, and here's what my pun is today. I'm a social vegan. I avoid meat. There you go. There's your pun for the day. Every day. Look, this is every day.
Was that Christmas or your birthday that you got that?
Christmas, yeah.
Christmas. So we've got
strap in, Captain.
9 more months. Woo! Okay, I can do it.
Well, we're almost through this because you probably suffered enough here. And if you guys have any questions on this episode of Commander's Log, jump in the chat here right now. We're live. If you're also listening on the audio version, wherever podcast you're listening to, put a little question in your question form thing if you're on Spotify. And give us 5 stars, baby. We need those kind of things. So is it kind of funny or tragic that General Ndoye essentially put the gun towards herself, so to speak, by accessing the codes to attack this thing that may now hit Earth in a couple hours of the DMA? Is she a tragic character as well? Or you're like, she gets what she deserves? Earth sucks.
No, definitely tragic character, because she has not officially gotten Earth back into the Federation because they didn't feel they could trust the Federation. And
We
so
can't.
she's just acting according to her nature and her priorities, which is Earth, which is under direct threat right now. So I totally get her. She has been tricked by Tarka's plan into thinking it would help. It won't help, as it turns out.
Earth
And so,
sucks.
yeah, very tragic character.
Yeah, tragic character. Not as tragic as Reno eating black licorice. Craig Robinson asks, what do you think of the whole bridge crew pool of ideas? I loved it. First of all, my man Bryce wasn't there. Christopher was there instead of Bryce. You can't be swapping brothers around thinking I won't notice. My man Bryce is my man for a reason. Bring Bryce back. But that was kind of cool having the whole bridge crew involved because we know first couple seasons, everyone says the bridge crew has no ideas. They kind of like the scenery. And now they're able to break the case.
Actually, I that was one of my notes for this episode was right near the beginning of the episode, we see like this incredible visual, and then it pulls out, and it's Owo's eye, and then we cut to Detmer's eyes, then we cut to Reese's eyes, and we cut to super Scandinavian girl Nilsson's eyes. The blondiest blonde in all blonde land. And then we are, right in their faces. And I was like, well, that's where the show goes. Look, get to love this crew. Okay.
Yes. You better do it.
Get to love them. Get in there. And right near the end of the episode, almost as far in, as that previous scene was, this episode is very close to the end of the episode. We have shot to shot of watching them brainstorm. And I just feel like this is Discovery going all in on, look, Star Trek audiences love their crew. They love their bridge crew. They get to know everybody individually. I know who Jory is and Worf and Data and Wesley. I know who my crew is. So let's get to know and love this crew. I really kind of liked it. And it's very, very Discovery, both the show and the ship. With Burnham going, I don't need a secret weapon here. I have my secret weapon, my crew.
Hey, that's what I say.
Love. It's all crew love.
I said it 2 weeks ago, but the uniforms are growing on me.
Yeah.
Captain, before I get you out of here, man, we have one more episode in Discovery season 4, the season finale. Do you think it should be 13? Sorry, I do think it should be 10 episodes, but it's episode 13. What do you expect? How can this show redeem itself after the quote unquote gelato-filled travesty that you witnessed today?
The last time that we were dealing with aliens, like super aliens, it was pretty much the Dominion on Deep Space Nine, which caused a galaxy-wide war. And I always love that. I always think of that as being my favorite Star Trek storyline, was the Dominion War. I think it's going to be the opposite in this one. I think we will end with some sort of peace, but it's still going to be an ongoing mission to try to communicate. And I'm going to make a really wild prediction right now. I don't think Rillick's coming back. I think Rillick is staying here.
Staying alive or dead?
I think she's staying alive in this new galaxy as an ambassador. I think we're losing her to this.
She's a partner in Alpha Quadrant.
I know.
Damn.
It's a higher calling. What can I say? It's a higher calling.
And you discussed it with me first. I thought I loved you.
I mean, it's so funny because they literally are at the end of the galaxy. Like it'll be really hard for people to shuffle back and forth unless they're on a spore drive vehicle to get to this galaxy. I think, okay, I'll put it in a better way. I think the relationship with Species 10C is just beginning in the next episode. It's just beginning. It's going to be peaceful after all, but somehow this Tarka thing has to be settled. And what a mess. Yeah,
the Tarka thing has been a mess, and it was kind of interesting and fun, but it didn't want to be. But I want I think I have an idea. It's probably going to be this whole thing. We come in peace, or we're sorry. They're probably going to compromise. But imagine if it was like a well-known alien race that just trolls everybody. Like, oh, these are the galaxy's edge Klingons, just to screw everybody, just to get everyone mad. I would love to see that.
That was species 8472. They just want to destroy all of us. I mean, I understood that from Voyager. So, but this does seem like a super advanced species 10C. So, yeah, I think we're going to end up being like, I think they're going to treat us like pets.
I'm with that, man.
Like we're the ducks down at the park.
Well, we're going to be back here next week for Commander's Log. And this is actually the biggest live audience we had on all our platforms. Well, thank you so much for writing it. I was going to go into hiatus, but I'm not sure we should do that now. You know what? You know the guys in the chat. Let me know what you guys think as we wrap this up this season. But if you want to know more about that Picard, coming up momentarily, the Weber Internet Thingy is bringing us Picarder. John, let me know about it. Tell me.
You can visit us at Starbase 80 on Facebook or at Weber Internet Thingy on either Facebook or YouTube. And yes, we will be talking about the second season. Oh, Kirsten, you're so sweet. We're going to be talking about this second season of Picarder, episode 2. And it's called Penance, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Joe Townsend will be there. Lots of friends of the show. Chris Pitcher, Leo Genesek. So please join us. That starts in 19 minutes, my time.
Yeah. T-minus 19 minutes over at the Weber Internet Thingy. Follow it now. But please, if you haven't, tell a friend about Commander's Log. Do so. As you wrapped up season 4. I guess that does it for us, man. I'm going to go get some gelato. I think I've earned it, bro. You know, why not?
You have earned your gelato, boy.
Yeah, it's definitely high class and better than ice cream. Captain, until next time, we got to always say, man, live long and
prosper.